Fast forward, any come our channel so AGH Politics Avenue. Podcast or set trend make headlines. The Jamre na EDB Exumo Ewaha, and Idiom Yahoo Braximus and the AD Kanya. A best so much subscribe to the channel. Hit notification bell so share na Afro France or answer into me. Nidioma, young political highway system can Ofori-Atta. After say, Omutrano issue so a year US no, judges no, Ababonting, Abakasana, and some Omoken in say can Ofori-Atta. Any legal right to be as or better a year US crooning the Sentinel Omo Edeno Air Core Aquashe a year ICE detention center until April 27th, 2026. Sign a friend for another and a second hearing. Only let's say you're more in seminum na yen yako any dieba. AGH Politics Avenue. Yanko Yensinim.
Ofori-Atta will get to know his fate over attempts to extradite him to Ghana by April 27th later this year. Ofori-Atta appeared before a United States Immigration Court in Virginia on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, as proceedings continue over his immigration status. The hearing followed his detention in the U.S. after Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested him on January 6, 2026. State attorneys argued during the hearing that Ofori-Atta should not be granted bail because Ghana has submitted an extradition request for him. In his ruling, Judge David Garde declined to make any immediate determination on the extradition claim, noting that no documentary evidence had been presented to support the assertion. U.S. authorities are arguing that the former finance minister no longer has lawful status to remain in the country after the revocation of his visitor visa. During the proceedings at the Annandale Immigration Court, counsel for Ofori-Atta requested that both the bond hearing and the related master calendar hearing be closed to the public, citing the sensitive nature of issues expected to be raised. Ken Ofori-Atta is currently a wanted man in Ghana after being charged with multiple criminal offenses by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. John Quayson is a constitution lawyer who has keenly followed this matter. Counsel, I appreciate your time this afternoon. I do want to start from the call by the former finance minister's lawyers for the hearings to be in private, citing sensitive issues. But when we compare that to the fact that this is a public figure, a former finance minister of our country, is there really justification for this case to be private?
Okay, so let me begin. First off, it was the right and the lawyers of honorable candidate. Of course, if your client is in detention or on remand, the first thing is to take a step and apply for bail for him. But then, contemporaneously, and then advantageously to kind of rare testing, even if the lawyers are not aware, I dare say that the development yesterday was actually a big victory for Honorable Ofori-Atta and his entire team. Let me explain. Ghana and our authorities will not be happy, okay, because they want the actions in Ghana to be expedited. Unfortunately, so each day that passes by is a lose, or let's say a loss for our country. Now it's already 2 years is unfolded. Okay, he is not going to appear in court until 27. That is May, almost half of the year gone. And then they are now going to take some other steps procedurally. When we spoke the last time, I was like, he didn't stand the chance because it had to do with deportation. So they should be tribulating now that the element of the extradition has also reared its ugly head, which indirectly has come to embolden or strengthen his stay in the U.S. Our authorities back home were playing against all odds that the deportation order will carry through. By coincidence and by circumstances, the prosecution in U.S. rather opposed the bail application. And in law, the procedure is as good as the substance of the case. So procedurally, Okay, it has prolonged the case, and the longer he stays there.
I see. Now Judge Gadi is asking for state prosecutors to present documentary evidence of this extradition. How do you see this playing out in court, perhaps on April 27th, maybe, if not called earlier?
That's what, actually, they gave them 1 month. And that's what I'm saying. In court, anything can happen. The least development could trigger a prolonged period. Everything would have been determined yesterday. Do you get it? But then there was an objection from the prosecution. And then that objection, nobody anticipated that. And that is where it is leading us to. Maybe some people would have weighed that the objection could have been stayed for a day or two. But you see, U.S. today have more people, and this was an immigration court. So the judge said, okay, I don't base ruling or orders on assertions. I need the evidence. So if you say the government of Ghana have put in a requisition for extradition, there's nothing before me. Then produce that document, and then I'll peruse it. And by so doing, it has prolonged the period. And that is, for my analysis, Ghana government has lost big time.
I see.
Yeah, because he's not coming anytime soon.
I see.
At least we are aware that half of the year is already gone. So 1.5 years gone. You get it? Almost 2 years since the OSP started this procedure. And you know, our court system too, when he's here, it's going to take another 2 years or something. By which time, maybe a new government or whatever, the JM will not be there.
But it's due process we are looking for, isn't it?
Exactly so. But we Ghanaians didn't want it that way. They wanted him brought here. And then whichever way they wanted to deal with him. And I can assure you, most of the procedures in Ghana would have been truncated and fast-tracked. Because he's been in the queue for a very long time. So as it exists now, it's a huge and big victory for Ofori-Atta and his team. By accident.
I see. So counsel, just before we go, for future cases, which counsel for the former finance minister have asked and indeed been granted that it be in camera, should public interest, and by public, the Ghanaian people's interest in the case supersede the privacy Ofori-Atta is seeking?
Yes, you see, they would have wished that the case even went on without him. But you see, it's not always that you can prosecute in the absence of the person. If the person is here, there are some strenuous variables, some additional questions that he himself is the only one who can answer. Maybe there are so many properties they feel have gone to him. You say they can't base on hearsays. So they needed his presence here so that they asked, this building, is it for you? This car, is it for you? You get it? And then they can see which ones they could retrieve and then which ones they couldn't.
Very well, lawyer. We'll leave it here for now. Thank you so much. John Kwesi is a constitution lawyer. We will stay on this subject because back home here in Accra, pressure continues to mount for the return of the former finance minister, Ofori-Atta. Ghana protests as the U.S. Embassy in Accra as protesters continue to mount pressure on authorities to expedite the return of former Finance Minister Ofori-Atta. Now, security has been beefed up with more police visibility and barricades to prevent a crossover or spillover towards the interior of the embassy. Let's now bring you some live pictures from there. Christian Yale is our man on the ground. Christian, what is happening now?
In fact, Kamini, just a few minutes ago, the protesters crossed the road from where they are standing right now. They crossed the barricades to approach the frontage of the U.S. Embassy. When that happened, we saw the police begin to form a human wall to prevent them from entering. But let me try to cross over right now from this side of the road to join the protesters on the other side where they are protesting this afternoon, because then we need to get some live reactions from them as to what exactly they want done, also following all that transpired yesterday in court. And so you realize that today there are more protesters who have come here, unlike what we witnessed yesterday. There are more who are not even in the customed or customized T-shirt that are being worn by most of the Arise Ghana protesters themselves. There are many here who are not in uniforms. Let me briefly engage one of them. What about joining protests with? Mopesa, yere keno Ofori-Atta babak.
Pachai.
Adentia.
Oh, say somebody you know. You didn't need problem. Or your gun and your umbrella number you know.
So they want Ken back to come to respond to some questions. Coming here, and I can also tell you that there are a lot more of high-profile personalities who are here to join this protest. But why are you here protesting today?
Master, I'm here because of Ofori-Atta. Ofori-Atta must come to answer questions. The reason why he collapsed GN Bank, because of Ofori-Atta, some of us are suffering. Seriously.
When you say you are suffering, what do you mean by that?
Since 2019, there is no job for us to do, you understand? Now, since Ofori-Atta collapsed our company, our children, our household, everybody is suffering. Some of us are dead and gone. Now we need Ofori-Atta to come and then answer questions. As I'm talking to you, some of our benefits, because of Ofori-Atta, some of our benefits, negotiated benefit company, they have held some of our benefits. And stay with them. Now we are organizing ourselves to go and pick it there too, because they need to give us our money.
And I see him wearing a GN Bank attire, as a matter of fact. But coming there are some individuals here, like I told you, high-profile individuals who have come today to join this protest. But before I even engage them briefly, let me get some sight and sounds indeed from what is happening in here, exactly how they are chanting. Just some few chants of what is happening here. All right, so Ken must come, but let me get some interviews and right now engage Solomon Owusu from the United Party to get his own thoughts as well on why he's choosing to join the protest today. Yesterday I didn't see you here. You are here today. What do you want? What is your interest?
It's very simple. Ken Ofori-Atta must come back to Ghana and help the state to unravel some of the mysteries surrounding the PDS, surrounding the National Cathedral, surrounding the SML and the DDEP. It's as simple as that. And any public official must have at the back of the mind that accountability is part of your life. And it's very simple. No one is saying that Ken is guilty. What we are saying is that he must come and answer the questions. If he's done, he can go back to the United States of America. And that will be fine.
But yesterday he was in court. The court heard his case and has been adjourned to 27th April. Don't you believe the processes have already kick-started over there?
The court is doing its job. We as Ghanaians are also doing our job. As citizens of this country that believes in accountability, we want to let the United States of America know that as a country that have been championing accountability and create the impression that they abolish corruption, they must be the last country to be standing in the way of Ghana in pursuing accountability. They must not allow their country to be used as a sanctuary for corruption and corrupt officials, especially coming from the sub-Saharan Africa.
So you believe that the U.S. authorities are being reluctant in ensuring the expeditious extradition of Ken Ofori-Atta? Is that what you are alluding to?
That is the impression that they are creating. That's why I'm saying that they must not create the impression that they are acting as a sanctuary for corrupt officials from Africa, because he came from Ghana. He did not apply to permanently live in the United States. He got to the United States of America before deciding to have a change of status. That tells you the mindset. Let him come back. Ghana is not a banana republic. After all, he was not the only minister under the Eswal administration. He had about 124 ministers. All of them are here. No one is being pursued. So what makes him so special?
All right.
He must come back.
He must come back. Coming in, let me just show you again. You realize that just about now, the protesters have moved to the other side of the road yet again, and that is just in front of the U.S. Embassy. This is what the police were trying to avoid, for which reason they mounted the barricades so that they do not cross to the other side. But right now, I see one of the members and conveners, Salom Jamado, leading them to more or less embark on this march right across the road to the other side of the road, just in front of the U.S. Embassy. And so that is the situation right now. That is the actual picture that we are painting and bringing to your attention. We will seek to get few more interactions with some of the individuals who have gathered here. But for some of these protesters, they tell me, and it is one thing, that even when you look at the proceedings and how things took place yesterday, it is only clear that it appears to them as though the U.S. authorities are not willing to ensure the extradition of Ken Ofori-Atta back into the country, and so they are continuing to mount this pressure on the U.S. authorities. They are continuing to make their grievances known. They are continuing to ensure that all that they desire, which is the return of Ken Ofori-Atta, is done and is achieved as soon as possible. Let me seek to also cross the road to join them over there to get some responses from them as well on what they make of this protest.
Very well, Christian, we'll end it here for now, but keep an eye on the situation there for us. Christian Yale joined us from the U.S. Embassy here in Accra. Let's bring you some politics now. The Electoral Commission will on Monday, March 3rd, 2026, hold the Ayawaso East constituency parliamentary by-election following recent demise of the MP for the area, Mahama Nasir Toure, which has rendered the seat vacant under Article 112, Section 5 of the 1992 Constitution. The Electoral Commission is required to hold a by-election within 3 months after the Speaker of Parliament formally notifies it of a vacancy. Many of the constituents are pushing for the widow of the late MP, Hadia Amina Adam, to be considered as the party's candidate for the contest, while others are also supporting Baba Jamal, a legal practitioner and Ghana's ambassador to Nigeria, who has already declared his intention to run for the seat. Crosby Annan is deep inside the constituency, particularly in Nima, which is, the heartbeat of the Ayawaso East constituency, where he's going to engage constituents on this crucial by-election. Crosby, talk to us. What are you picking up?
Well, Kamini, welcome to Nima in the Ayawaso East constituency, the heartbeat of the constituency. And like you rightly mentioned, it's been a conversation to find a successor for the late Member of Parliament, Nasir Mahama Toure, who unfortunately lost his life a while ago. Now, the constituency is predominantly an NDC constituency. It is an NDC stronghold. And after the NDC brought out regulations or timelines for this election, they are saying that the primaries will be held on the 7th of February. That's a few weeks away. So it means that conversations have intensified to look for who should replace the late Member of Parliament to represent the constituency in Parliament. It's been a conversation largely between three people, like you mentioned. Alhaji Baba Jamal has been mentioned. There's also Dr. Azindo. Now, these two people, they have been parliamentary aspirants before, but unfortunately, they lost to Alhaji Nasir Toure in the 2024 elections. The new name, however, is the wife of Alhaji Nasir Toure, and I'm talking about Hajia Amina Adam. She is the new name on the block, and people are tipping her that she is going to succeed her husband in Parliament. I've gathered a few constituents. Let's have a quick conversation with them and find out what will motivate them to choose a parliamentary candidate to face the NDC in the by-election that will happen on March 3. Let's speak with you. Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name.
My name is Zakia.
Your name is?
Zakia.
Zakia. Yeah. So the NDC in the coming weeks will vote for a parliamentary candidate. What are you particularly looking out for?
For me, I wish and hope the late McNazar's wife will contest.
Is there a reason why?
Yes, because she's already a politician. It's not that we are now dragging her into politics. And she has the credibility. She's a woman. And for me, as a girl child, born and raised in Nima, she has given me more reason to further my education, for me to even know, as a woman that I am, I can be someone better as she is. I can be someone better than maybe as she is for now.
So that's the motivation.
Yes.
Okay, so you heard from her, but there are those who also say that some old names are already in the picture. Baba Jamal is in the picture, Dr. Azindo is in the picture. These are people who the constituency know and who know the constituency. What are you looking for to choose a parliamentary candidate?
First of all, thank you very much for your opportunity given to me. My name is Addo Ganiu. I'm a branch hammer for Islamic Research branch in East Ayawaso constituency. The reason why I believe and I choose Hajia Amina to succeed the seat of a late husband is that she's a woman who knows much about the constituency, who knows what the constituency needs, and who can move the constituency forward as we want. Because my main question which I wanted to ask is, how can someone on earth who has been appointed to be in a position of His Excellency drop downwards to come and then contest as a member of parliament? This is a question that we need to ask each other.
So that's the reason why Baba Jamal is out of the picture for you?
He is out of the picture, and I believe it is one of the great
we and some who channel so Mamma so Jim or had a Senate so body and the Adumiania, in sign in shield.